First of all, the big question is the growth story. On your top line, starting with the top line, of course, up 2% for the first quarter. What's the story behind that moderate performance?
Well, the story behind that is simply that we had some difficulties. The wheat price was up, but more importantly was the fact that we had issues with logistics, election, movement of trucks, bad roads. But all that is behind us now. So the good story is that we're doing very well. We're up on our turnover, we're up on our volumes, and the future is very bright.
Let's talk a bit about that, breaking down that turnover. We can see that about 21% of your turnover is now linked to your subsidiary, Honeywell Superfine Foods, which is producing the pasta products. Give us a sense of your expectations for that line of business.
Well, that line of business is growing. Pasta business is growing, consumption is growing. But more importantly, our products are in very, very high demand. Our pasta, our noodles, they're of very, very high quality, and they're growing. So we expect that the contribution will be even higher in a larger group turnover in the next several months.
All right, we'll talk about your expansion plans in a moment. But of course, the big story is the sharp decline in the profits before tax, down about 82% to 162 million. Give us the story and the pressure points there.
Yeah, I was speaking there about wheat, the rising price of wheat, which really is a global problem. But for us, it's a cyclical problem. We experience it from time to time, and we can deal with it. So when the wheat price is up, we also suffer a drop in margin. But right now, the wheat prices are declining, so profitability is looking up.
And what are your expectations going forward for the wheat price? Obviously, with the expected general slowdown in the global economy, what are your expectations?
You can also see the way the share prices are coming down. So we expect a more downward pressure on the wheat prices. And once that happens, then we can expect a greater increase in our margins.
Higher margins for you. Okay, talk to us about your expansion plans. You've noted that you're putting about 10 billion naira, about $65 million into a new plant. What are your key priorities for that investment?
Well, the big story is that we make high quality products and in very high demand. And we take advantage of that positioning of our products across our products of flour, semolina, wheat meal, to make this bold investment, increase capacity, and give a larger offering of our well-demanded products to the consumers. So that's why we're doing what we're doing. We're very well positioned, and I think we're running a very efficient operation. So that's why we're able to proceed on that bold investment. Right now, the factory construction is up. It has reached a significant stage, and we expect that by May 2012, we should already be running with this increased capacity, offering more semolina and more wheat meal to our consumers.
Let's talk a bit about those products, and should I say the appetite of Nigerian consumer today. You're obviously serving those consumers today. What's the sense you get, more so with the inflationary pressures we're seeing recently? How is the Nigerian consumer dealing with all this?
Well, first of all, we have hope that with increases in salaries that federal government has approved, that should stimulate general consumer spending in Nigeria. But we're also in the food business, and people have to eat. So because they have to eat, they go for the products that will give them the fulfillment that they're seeking. Therefore, for a wheat meal, for instance, which is a very highly popular product, and I would say that we're also a trailblazer. We're number one, a very distant number one in that category. The demand is very, very strong indeed, which is why we're so bold. We are doubling capacities for wheat meal production and for semolina.
And what should investors expect from this increase in capacity in terms of performance going forward? Profits, market share, etc.
Everything is looking up. The turnover, the earnings, the market share. Right now, we have an installed capacity of about 9%. Market share is 12%. By the time we're done with this, we expect to take our market share to up to about 20%. In a population of 150 million, when you can hold 20%, then you're really standing very strong on your 2 feet. And this is the pride of Honeywell. is offering shareholders and consumers a very, very good slice of the cake.
Let's come back to the flour business and what the competition dynamics in that space. What do you anticipate going forward? Obviously, there are several key players in that space right now.
There is competition in any business that you find yourself, but we run our business very efficiently, which places us as number one in terms of what the customers look out for. We have a very high capacity utilization, very well above the industry standard. So the competition exists, but we lead the pack. Let me put it that way, we lead the pack.
Final word to investors. Like I mentioned, it's 2% down for the first quarter. With all your investment plans, obviously you're going to have to finance that. Should investors expect a dividend come March 2012?
They should have an expectation of even a higher level of dividend in the coming financial year, because the expansion plans are very bold. The market is very big. Consumers are waiting. So everything is looking up.